I don't think it is a secret anymore. I love photographing flowers. Is there a value to this activity? I don't know, but you do. If you find that it has value, then it does. If you cannot appreciate any value at looking at these flowers, then there is no value here, at least not for you. It is really that simple. You, no matter how old you are clinging to your values based on your perceptions. Facts and truth are irrelevant, but no one can ever tell you that. At age 19, sitting in a high school in Massachusetts, I wondered why I was in high school all over again, only to find that the British school system was not recognized as an educational system. Sitting in high school with hormones raging, I was to learn that certain thoughts, as natural as they are, were considered immoral, not civilized. Sitting in high school, I was given an F in creative writing because my story was written by a character that was dead. My English teacher stated that dead people cannot write. Silly me, I thought that the conflict of love and being loved had value. I wrote about a woodsman who lived deep into the forest, tortured as he watched his wife suffer indescribable pain, knowing that he could end it all for them both with poisons that he controlled. My story, The Old Man and His Cup, received an F from the English teacher. At 19, I honestly believed that I would not live to be 25. I just knew it. I was wrong. I joined the Navy. My first 4 years in the Navy was misery with a capital M. My conflicts was in reconciling the difference between what I perceived America to be, based on its principles, and the realities of the South and the Civil Rights Movement. This is what I have learned. When it comes to human suffering, if you're not sensitive to those sufferings, then they really don't exist. They're simply stories on television. And speaking of sensitivity, my feeble mind understood the principles involved in World War II, but not in the Vietnam War. In my mind, Americans who seemingly had no rights in their own country were fighting for the rights of others in another country. They would come home not as heroes, but as dregs of their own society and as second-class citizens. No matter, the purveyors of war made a lot of money in the Vietnam War. In the 60s, I would read about the beatings, dogs, and the murders, water hoses, and the lynchings in the South. I would read about an America who would ignore the plights of its own citizens as we would pursue the spreading of perceived values in foreign countries. No matter, as always, the purveyors of war are always going to make a lot of money in war. Strange thoughts of a 19-year-old, wouldn't you say? But I'm an optimist. I am absolutely sure that by the 21st century, all of these concerns will be academic. With photography, the camera records what it sees, the value of which is determined by you, the observer. What you see is your own perception of what I photograph. As for perceptions, I still believe that all people are created equal and that each person should be afforded freedom in their pursuit of happiness, life, and liberty. I still believe that justice, not money, should be the underlying reason for a legal system. As for perceptions, you have yours and I have mine. At age 19, I didn't think I was going to make it past 25, and now here I am, close to my 7th decade. I was wrong. If you're a teenager listening to this, know this. Adults don't always know what they're talking about, and they are quite often very wrong. Just take a look at what they have done to this world. All I can say is this. There are some very dark days that you have been experiencing. I know because I've experienced those days too. But my advice to you is this: live one day at a time. It may not seem like it, but there will be a tomorrow, and you will be in a position to make the needed changes. Just hang in there today. As for these photographs, you have your own perceptions and I have mine. I perceive that these petals are beautiful.